Welcome to your deep dive. Ready to uncover some seriously wild stories? We're talking first-hand accounts, journal entries, even some whispered rumors. The kind of stuff that'll make you believe in the impossible.
And that's the beauty of these sources, right? They don't just tell a story, they pull you right into a world where mythical creatures roam free. Danger lurks around every corner.
Ooh, I love a good mystery. So where do we even begin with this deep dive?
Well, it all starts with a bang, literally. A
Okay.
comet blazing across the sky right over the town of Shady Hollow.
Okay, a comet. Now that's an entrance, but I'm guessing this isn't your average run-of-the-mill comet, is it?
Not quite. See, comets in this world are like giant cosmic alarms. They show up whenever there's about to be some major upheaval, big changes.
So this comet is basically a giant warning sign from the universe, like, buckle up, things are about to get bumpy.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And those bumps, they hit Shady Hollow hard. We're talking disrupted trade routes from the north, which throws everything into chaos. Imagine if all the stuff you relied on suddenly became scarce,
Hmm.
right? That's the kind of uncertainty these people are dealing with.
I can only imagine. Now, your sources mention a group of adventurers who witnessed this comet firsthand. Are these the heroes of our story?
They are indeed. We first meet them at the Pickaxe Tavern, cozy, fire-lit, the works. They're just going about their business when, bam, comet streaks across the sky. Everyone's freaking out. Well, almost everyone.
Oh, someone's keeping their cool. Tell me more.
Right. Well, there's this one adventurer, Noble Eldritch, seasoned traveler, seen it all kind of guy.
Yeah.
And he just shrugs it off. He even says something like, read about such things, almost like he expected it.
That's both intriguing and a little unnerving, like he's got the cosmic cheat sheet or something. But you mentioned this comet's just the beginning. What happens next? So Noble's got his eye on the sky, but what about the rest of the gang? Where does this adventure take them next?
Well, our adventurers seem to have a knack for stumbling upon the unusual because their next stop is a ruined monastery.
A ruined monastery. Okay, that's kind of spooky. What's the story there?
Uh-huh.
Haunted by the ghosts of monks past.
Not quite ghosts, but definitely an unsettling presence. You see, this isn't just any old ruin, it's the Earth Monastery. Or at least it was, known for its peace, its connection to nature.
Ah, so a place of tranquility and meditation, now desolate and deserted. That's a shame. But what's so unusual about it?
Well, for starters, it's guarded by a gargoyle.
A gargoyle, like straight out of those gothic novels.
Kinda, but this one's different. Not perched on a rooftop, but standing guard at the entrance.
Sure.
Like earthbound, almost sad the way it's just standing there.
Okay, a brooding gargoyle guarding a ruined monastery. I'm starting to get chills. So what did our heroes do? Charge right in.
They're brave, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious. They managed to get past the gargoyle. Don't worry. No epic battles this time. And what they find inside, let's just say those chills you mentioned, yeah, they multiply.
Oh, lay it on me. What did they find?
Gnomes.
Gnomes, like the little garden variety?
Not exactly. These gnomes,
Yeah.
they're different. They've turned the monastery into this hub of strange technology. Think gears grinding, steam hissing, the whole shebang.
Gnomes and tech. Okay, that's an interesting combo. Not exactly what I expected in a ruined monastery. What kind of tech are we talking about?
Pretty advanced stuff, actually. Automatons buzzing about, weird contraptions whirring away, all powered by this. Well, the sources describe it as pulsating blue goo.
Pulsating blue goo. Now that's just not right. What is that stuff?
That's the million-dollar question. It's like nothing they've ever seen before. But it seems to be the key to all this gnome tech.
Okay, hold on. Rewind a bit. We've got gnomes, weird tech, and this blue goo that's probably not FDA approved. Any theories on how all of this connects back to, the comet, the upheaval, all that?
It's all connected. Of that, I'm sure. But how exactly? That's still a mystery. But there's one more piece of this puzzle we need to add. It seems our gnome friend, Gimble.
Gimble. Right, our resident gnome expert. What about him?
Well, as they're exploring this monastery, he starts having these flashes, memories. It's like this place, it means something to him, like he's been here before.
Okay, amnesia plus gnomes plus weird tech equals a recipe for one wild story. What do they do with all this information?
Well, that's when things take an even stranger turn. You see, Gimble, while poking around this blue goo-powered tech, let's just say he gets a little too up close and personal with it.
Yeah.
He'll, kind of becomes Robo-Gimble.
You're kidding. Robo-Gimble, like part gnome, part machine. What does that even mean? Details, please.
All right. Picture this. Gimble's messing about with this energy source, right? It's pulsing away. This blue goo is practically humming with power.
Yeah.
And it's like it reaches out and grabs him.
Oh, that's not good.
No, not good at all. But also, Kind of amazing. He's
Yeah.
changed. Stronger, faster. His senses are off the charts. It's like this blue goo stuff supercharged him, but
That there's always a but.
he's connected to it now. Like
Mhm.
really connected. It's a part of him. And something tells me that's not going to end well.
This just keeps getting better and better. Or worse and worse, depending on how you look at it. So Gimble's gone robo. The gnomes are up to something shady, and I have a feeling this pulsating blue goo is going to be a problem. What's next for our heroes? So Gimble's got all bionic gnome. We've got these mysterious gnomes tinkering away with their blue goo-powered gadgets. And something tells me Shady Hollow's in for a rough ride. What's the damage, by the way?
Well, I remember all that talk about trade routes being disrupted. Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Things are about to get a whole lot shakier for the good people of Shady Hollow.
Oh no, not good at all. What's happening? More comets.
No more comets, thankfully. But their leadership, the magistrates,
Well,
they decided to skip town, headed south as far away from the chaos as possible.
they abandoned Shady Hollow. With everything going on. That's not great leadership, if you ask me.
Yeah, not exactly a shining example of courage under fire. And to make matters worse, those whispers about a demonic army, the ones we talked about earlier, well, they're starting to sound a lot less like whispers and a lot more like war drums.
So we've got a town on the brink, a demonic army on the march, and our heroes are stuck right in the thick of it. What do?
They decide to hightail it out of there, at least for now. They figure their best bet is to head south, try to reach the elven city of Lysanthir. It's during this journey they meet a whole new cast of characters. Always a good sign, right? New faces, new drama.
Oh, I do love a good introduction. Spill the tea. Who are these mysterious new players?
First up, we've got Yardog. Think world-weary ambassador, seen-it-all kind of guy. He's got all the dirt on what's going down up north, and trust me, it ain't pretty.
Oh boy, sounds ominous. Who else?
Then there's Captain Enthrall. He's a paladin, sworn to uphold justice and all that good stuff. But with everything going on, he's caught in this impossible situation, torn between duty and what he knows is right. Tough spot to be in.
A classic moral dilemma. I'm invested already, but don't leave me hanging. Who else is joining the party?
And last but certainly not least, we have the one and only Qualish.
Qualish. Okay, that name rings a bell. Remind me.
Qualish, the artificer extraordinaire. Gadgets, gizmos, you name it, he can build it. But here's the thing about Qualish. He's got a connection to Gimble.
No way! Gimble and Qualish. Now that's a plot twist I didn't see coming. What kind of connection?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Gimble doesn't even know. But it's clear these two have a shared history, something that goes way back.
Ooh, a blast from the past. I love it. But hold on a sec. You mentioned something about an underwater city earlier. And demon squids. Did I mishear that part?
You heard right. Things are about to get even wilder. You see, while all this is happening, there's another group up to no good. The Nightshade Syndicate.
The Nightshade Syndicate. Okay, they sound shady. What's their deal?
They're trying to get their hands on some seriously valuable components. Components that just happen to be essential for a little trip Qualish has planned.
A trip. Where to?
Only to a lost underwater city, of course. And guess how they're getting there? In Qualish's latest invention. A submersible craft that would make even a dwarf jealous.
Hold up. We're going underwater now. This deep dive just took an unexpected turn, and I am here for it. But you still haven't told me about the demon squids.
Oh, right, the demon squids. Because a giant city-sized submersible and a lost underwater city weren't enough.
Hey, a little danger never hurt anyone. Well, except maybe those who get eaten by demon squids. What can you tell me about these creepy crawlies?
They're called Minox. Imagine the creepiest, crawliest thing you can think of from the bottom of the ocean and multiply that by like 10. They lurk in the darkest depths, waiting to latch onto unsuspecting victims and drain their energy.
Okay, energy draining, that's a big note from me. But our heroes, they survived this underwater escapade, right?
Barely, but they do manage to recover something incredible from this sunken city. An ancient harp. And not just any harp, mind you, this one's magical. And guess who it takes a liking to?
Gimble. It has
Yes.
to be Gimble.
You know it. Like this harp was just waiting for him. And with it, he can tap into a whole new level of power. We're talking next level magic here. But as they're celebrating their victory, they stumble upon something else in this underwater city. A hidden passage.
A hidden passage, leading where?
To the Underdark.
The Underdark. Okay, now that's a name that strikes fear into the hearts of even the bravest adventurers. What's waiting for them down there?
The Underdark is a whole other world, hidden beneath the surface. It's a dangerous place, filled with strange creatures and even stranger inhabitants.
Like drow.
Exactly. And trust me, These drows are not the friendly kind. They're caught in the middle of this whole power struggle, different factions vying for control. Not a place you want to get caught up in, that's for sure.
So to recap, we've got a demonic army on the surface, a magical harp that's BFFs with Gimble, and now they're heading into the Underdark, home of the not-so-friendly drow. These adventurers certainly know how to make things interesting.
And that's just the beginning. Their journey through the Underdark tests them in ways they never imagined. They face off against giant spiders, navigate treacherous tunnels, and try to avoid getting caught in the crossfire of this drow civil war.
Sounds intense, but they make it out alive, right?
Eventually. But not without some bumps and bruises along the way, and they come face to face with the heart of the darkness in the Underdark. Well, let's just say it's not an experience you easily forget.
So they face their fears, conquer the Underdark, and emerge victorious.
You could say that, but their journey isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. Remember that prophecy, the one about a gnome destined for greatness? Yeah, that's still in play. And as for Gimble, let's just say he's got a lot to learn about his newfound powers, and maybe even more to learn about himself.
So many questions, so few answers. I guess that's the nature of a deep dive, isn't it? We unearth more mysteries than we solve. But that's what makes it so exciting. We've gone from a comet streaking across the sky to a gnome-infested monastery, took a detour to a sunken city guarded by energy-sucking squids, and braved the perils of the Underdark.
And through it all, our heroes have faced their fears, discovered hidden truths, and maybe, just maybe, even found a little bit of hope along the way.
And that's a wrap. Another deep dive in the books. Join us next time when we'll uncover even more mysteries, explore even stranger worlds, and delve into the unknown. Until then, keep exploring.